Good afternoon, students. Today I am going to describe the process of tRNA splicing. tRNA splicing is a special type of splicing that can be observed in each domain of the organisms. It can be observed in eukaryotic, prokaryotic, and archaeal system. Basically, the tRNA splicing differs with the mRNA splicing. Is that here only one splicing, one intron is present, and this intron is removed to produce the mature tRNA. Basically, tRNA is produced by the RNA polymerase 3 at the nucleoplasm, and it consists about 10% of the total cellular activity. The As I told previously, the tRNA consisting of one intron that is shown here in the with the red coloration, and the green anticodon part is showing here, and the 3' and 5' splice sites are also marked in this case. This is the typical matured structure of tRNA, where it is the inverted L structure that can be observed in the biological system as the functional tRNA. The splicing of tRNA first discovered in Saccharomyces cerevisiae, which contains about 272 tRNA genes, of which only 59 tRNAs are interrupted by the introns. And these introns should be removed for the production of mature tRNA. This is the mechanism where I have shown you that the anticodon portion, which is present at here, is must come to the this portion. This is the just opposite of the CCA arm of the tRNA, and this should be at the right angle position so that the translation can be easier. And this tRNA splicing, which removes the intron, which is depicted here in the red color, and it contains 3 steps. These steps are: first endonuclease attack, and after that the ligation is happening, and after that the phosphotransferase reaction. In the endonuclease reaction, basically the introns are removed, and after the removal of intron, the adenylyl synthesis enzyme comes, which ligase which in addition with the ligase and ATP forms the ligase adenosyl monophosphate, and it attached with the 5' oxygen hydroxyl group, and these adenosyl diphosphate 5' hydroxyl group is now created by the action of adenylyl synthesis, and this phosphate group is attached with the 3' OH group of another exon with the help of ligase. And this ligation reaction is typically joined these two segments, where the 2' phosphate group is there, and this is the gamma phosphate basically, which is removed by the action of 2' phosphotransferase activity, and to create the mature tRNA. This total mechanism is depicted here, where the cloverleaf model of tRNA is shown, and here the total reaction is depicted clearly. Uh, for the folding of tRNA, it is necessary to create a folded structure for the tRNA, which is very much essential for the process of translation. And this folding is mediated by the presence of some modified nucleosides that are present in the tRNA. These nucleosides are there are 9 to 10 nucleosides, modified nucleosides are there, which are depicted here, with their modifications are represented with the magenta coloration in this case. Basically, the dihydrouridine, thiouridine, methylcytidine, 3-methylcytidine, 5-methylcytidine, inosine, ribothiazide, and pseudouridine. These are the very common modification of nucleosides. Those are present in the tRNA. These modifications can be occurred by the action of 2' O-methyl transferase activity, which converts the ribose sugar into the modified ribose sugar. Here, the S-adenosyl methionine is converted from the adenosine by the action of 2' O-methyl transferase with the addition of 2' methyl group, with the addition of methyl group at the 2' OH group. And the conversion of uridine to pseudo-uridine is done by the pseudo-uridine synthetase, which is the another essential enzyme that, for the conversion or the modification of the this type of special nucleosides. And I previously told that this nucleosides, presence of this nucleoside is essential for the folding of the tRNA. This tRNA is a three-dimensional structure formation where the acceptor stem or the amino acid hand can be placed at the right angle of the anticodon arm, so that in the case of translation, these amino acid tRNA can be joined with the last amino acid of the growing polypeptide chain easily. And these cell shape also maximizes the stability by lining up the base pairs in the D stem with those in the anticodon stem, and the base pairs in the T stem and those in the acceptor stem. This also maintains its stability of tRNA. And how this folding can be achieved, we in the recent article, it was published that true B is the protein, or it is the chaperone protein that is essential for this folding of tRNA, which is active with the action of AS protein present in the 3' arm of the tRNA. And with the help of true B and AS protein and the help of true B protein, this modification, this folding can be achieved. And this is somehow, sometimes it is bidirectional process, where sometimes it is the unidirectional process, which is very much slow. And after proper folding of the tRNA, the true B protein must be removed from the tRNA. So this is the total process where we have discussed I have discussed the process of tRNA splicing and folding of tRNA. So students, please go through these slides, and if you have any question, you can ask me. Thank you.